Alright guys, hope you're all doing well, hope you're all keeping safe, hopefully you all had a good weekend. Now it appears over the weekend we may have got some news about Red Storm back working on the Division 2, and I say may because it's not been confirmed. There are signs it might not be as it looks, which I'll go over, but it's also quite possible based on a new job opening it is true. With that said, let's get into this one. Just a heads up guys, I will be covering Outriders on the channel with the game going live on Thursday morning at 12 AM GMT, so make sure you've subscribed to stay up to date with all my videos on that one and the Division of course. Let's get into it. Now I might be a little bit late to this one, I'm not sure who's actually covered this yet out of the content creators who create for this game, so apologies if I am late, but I refuse to sit at my computer on a weekend unless of course some serious official news comes out, which is not the case here. So right now there isn't a whole lot to sink our teeth into in terms of news surrounding the Division 2. We know content is coming at some point, and in the latest Ubisoft article we received confirmation of who is working on the game, at least officially, and that's worth bearing in mind as we talk about the possible news of Red Storm returning to the Division 2. Now until now we've had a few clues that may have indicated they're back, like when they changed their Twitter banner to the rogue symbol before, I believe it was before Christmas, among other things. But this recent job position that opened on the 24th of March 2021 might be the first piece of real evidence they have returned. So let's take a look. Alright, so here is the job listing. It says March 24th, 2021, lead level designer job, full-time. Company description, it goes on to talk about the company, we don't need to read that. Job description, Red Storm is seeking a talented lead level designer to work on the Division 2 with some of the most talented developers in the industry who are at the top of the game, have strong experience, etc, etc. And then it kind of goes over the responsibilities of that person. Nothing really to note here. This is just your kind of general stuff that you get from job listings for this particular job, like lead the level design and contribute, block out, build, playtest and tune 3D levels, etc. In the qualifications, it's got 5 years of professional level design experience with time spent PvP and PvE worlds. And then down here, strong game design skills, must be able to intelligently discuss the strengths and weaknesses of recent multiplayer shooter titles, must be able to describe techniques used to make fun, compelling PvE and PvP level and systems. So some people actually saw this part here and were like, oh, maybe this is an indication that this is Division 2 related. However, for me personally, when I read multiplayer shooter titles, I wouldn't call the Division 2 a shooter as such. And so you could look at this and say maybe this is talking about the Dark Zone, where we have PvP and we have PvE, and it would make sense. Red Storm working on something to do with the Dark Zone. There was that news a while back that we were expecting, or there was rumours or speculation around a new Dark Zone coming to New York in the Division 2, and that's still a possibility for Year 3. We don't know at this point. We have such little information. The only thing we know is we are getting one new game mode. So it's still possible that we will get some form of new Dark Zone in New York, and you could look at this and go, well, that fits that. But, this to me is more, this is your general stuff, right? This is what you would normally put on a job listing. But it does say the Division 2 here. Now, the isn't a capital, so it does look a bit odd, I'll be honest with you, but this is what people have been looking at. This is what people have been tweeting about, saying, you know what, this has just come up. It does say March 24th, 2021. And so this is recent. This is 5 days ago as of me making this video. So this is quite a recent listing. On top of that, so there's actually a new listing come up on the massive website for a community developer, I believe. So pretty much what Hamish's job was at one point, someone who can interact with the community and all that sort of stuff. So that's obviously separate to this, but there are jobs opening for the Division 2, and this kind of goes into that as well. And it would make sense to have Red Storm back for the Division 2, even if it's unofficial, just because with Year 3, if they are doing anything PvP related, which I kind of hope they are, because there is a PvP audience out there who've not had any PvP content for the last couple of years, then it's going to be Red Storm that come back and do that, because that's kind of what they work on. But yeah, this is the job listing. make of it what you will. Take it with a pinch of salt, because nothing official at the moment. So as I said, this posting then looks like Red Storm are hiring for a new position to work on possibly PvE and PvP based content, possibly Dark Zone related, but Born Diesel, Born, whatever you want to call him, fellow content creator for The Division, said this in a response to this job list, and that he actually posted on Twitter himself, quote, "For full clarity, I think this is a typo, outdated, copy-pasted listing, but I can't explain why without getting into trouble," end quote. Now, Born is pretty close with the developers from my understanding, so to see him say this has me doubting their involvement in The Division 2. I'm not totally sure what he means by he would get in trouble for knowing this. I'm not sure what he could say that would get him in trouble at all, and I wouldn't want to speculate at this point because I really don't have anything to go on. What I will say is he's not the only person to have said something similar, with other people pointing out this job listing as an old posting, albeit with a new date. Now, on top of that, do you remember at the start of this video I said that Ubisoft have not included Red Storm in their article of teams working on the Year 3 content? I find it highly unlikely that Ubisoft would choose not to include Red Storm in their officially announced studios working on Year 3 content, unless they are completely out of touch with the community. I've put out a poll this morning. You can see it's clearly evident players want Red Storm back, especially if you enjoy PvP, as they predominantly work on this rather than the PvE elements, which have been predominantly worked on by Massive themselves. Just reading over the comments on the poll, and there's an overwhelming amount of positive comments towards Red Storm having a part in Year 3 content, or just the Division 2 content in general. I think it's quite obvious the prospect of them coming back would have a lot of people excited, including me, because if there's one thing that would keep me playing every day, aside from new PvE content, which isn't going to happen daily, you always get that lull in content, it's going to be PvP that's actually fun to play, and I think Red Storm could make that happen if they were given the tools to do it. If Red Storm are not back, which I think is more likely at this point, even with the information I provided in this video, it's all none of it's concrete, it's all speculation, then I don't hold much hope for the future of PvP in the Division 2, which shouldn't surprise anyone because there's been no new content for years now, and I reckon that's probably going to remain as we go into the Year 3 content. But that's it for today's video, guys. Tomorrow I'll probably have 2 videos. I'm not sure yet. The vendor reset will be coming, and then I want to talk about the return of State of the Game. This was a video I was meant to put out on Friday, but I had technical issues. That will either come out tomorrow or I'll put it out Wednesday. Thanks very much for watching, and until the next one, Epic out.